Right now, we're getting closer to a working vaccine in the U.S. How one drug maker is testing the way it sends out their shot to rural communities.
Plus, gun deer hunting season just a few days away. How local businesses are preparing with COVID precautions.
And coming up, I'll have the 3 things you need to know about the forecast going forward.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, November 17th. I'm Josh Breiter.
We're glad you're waking up with us. Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday. I'm Leah Lynchide. Chris Stanford has the day off. We start this morning with the latest on the coronavirus here in Wisconsin.
The Badger State hitting a new record high for the rate of positive tests, with 36% of tests coming back positive. Health officials confirmed more than 5,300 new cases to start the week. The 7-day average of daily cases is now 6,400 new cases per day. 16 more people died from the virus on Monday.
Doctors and nurses are asking Sauk County leaders to publicly support COVID-19 prevention strategies. Sauk Prairie Healthcare's Dr. Nathan Grunwald says Sauk County is an example of rural America catching up to urban areas when it comes to the pandemic. At his hospital, staff are already trying to find more space for patients, and he fears local spread will only get worse if action isn't taken.
The trajectory we're on right now is unsustainable, and that there's a real risk not just from getting COVID-19, but potentially treating an illness that's curable because we simply don't have space.
Sauk County Board of Supervisors Chair Tim McCumber says county leaders are role models in the community. While the county supports state orders, he says it can't necessarily make its own stricter rules because it wouldn't be possible to enforce them.
With hospitals across the state nearly running at capacity, Children's Wisconsin in Milwaukee says it will begin accepting adult patients.
We expect that we will have patients in the older age group to come to Children's, and we expect that to happen within the next week or so, given the burden of care needs that are affecting our adult health systems right now.
Normally, Children's only treats patients under the age of 19, but the hospital says they have a plan in place to start accepting patients up to the age of 27. They expect most of the, quote, older patients to be transferred from nearby Froidert Hospital.
More than 1 million children in the U.S. have been diagnosed with COVID since the start of the pandemic. That's according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. It says more than 10% of those kids were diagnosed just last week. That's a significant increase compared to any previous week. But they do make up about 1 in 11 of all confirmed cases. The AAP says more than 100 children have died from the virus. The CDC says it's safe for new mothers to breastfeed, even if they have suspected or confirmed cases of COVID-19. In new guidance, it says breast milk is not a likely source of coronavirus infection. That's in contrast to what the agency originally said over the summer when it was less sure whether it was safe. The baby should be quarantined, though, along with the mother if she's expected of having the virus. The CDC emphasizes breast milk is the best source of nutrition for most babies and can even protect against many illnesses.
6:02 right now. This morning, 2 Janesville schools are shifting to online instruction until after Thanksgiving break. Craig High School and Marshall Middle School will begin remote learning starting today. School officials say there are several COVID cases among students and staff at both schools. As Rock County scales back to phase 1 of reopening measures, the Janesville School District is looking for how they need to adjust to meet those restrictions. Officials with the district sent a notice to families about the updated Rock County Public Health Department guidance. They're reviewing the information and options for next steps that will be presented at a special Board of Education meeting set for tomorrow night at 6.
Companies are getting closer to a vaccine for COVID, but getting it out to people might be problematic. Pfizer says its vaccine is more than 90% effective in current trials. They're now planning to test distribution in 4 different states. But the vaccine has to be stored at a temperature lower than what standard freezers can produce. It also requires 2 doses, spaced 3 weeks apart, to be effective. Pfizer chose Rhode Island, Texas, New Mexico, and Tennessee to test their distribution due to the differences in size, population diversity, and immunization infrastructure.
As preparations begin for vaccine distribution, other companies are continuing tests to bring more treatment options to the public. Large-scale, late-stage trials are underway right now for Johnson & Johnson's vaccine candidate. The drug maker giving the shot to an additional 30,000 people here in the United States. According to Reuters, trial volunteers will be given 2 doses over a 57-day period. No conclusive data has been published yet on this vaccine, but Johnson & Johnson says early and mid-stage trials did show an immune response.
The Food and Drug Administration is warning people not to take plasma from those who tested one of those experimental COVID vaccines. The FDA says there's a level of uncertainty surrounding the convalescent plasma since those vaccines are still in trial phases. The agency issued an emergency use authorization in August for the use of blood plasma. The idea is people who've recovered from COVID infections have plasma with virus antibodies and can therefore kickstart a patient's immune response.
Coming up on 6:05 on a Tuesday morning, Hattie's got the 3 things to know in the forecast. Hattie, good morning.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. Yeah, today is going to be a little cooler than it was yesterday. So if you were cold yesterday, you're going to put an extra layer today. Temperatures are going to be down just a little bit. Strong winds return for Wednesday, and it looks like they'll linger into Thursday, and then plan on a wet weekend, especially across southern Wisconsin. Let's take a closer look at that wet weather coming in this weekend. Here's future track just before lunchtime. You can see that rain and moisture spreading into southern Wisconsin. As it lifts northward, it may encounter some colder temperatures and start to mix with a little bit of snow through central and parts of northern Wisconsin, but likely the far northwoods will stay dry with this particular system. Our rain chances, though, continue overnight Saturday right into Sunday, with that precipitation gradually tapering off by late on Sunday. Could be quite a bit of rain, though. You see this future track forecast model predicting more than 1 inch across all of southern Wisconsin. Now, again, these numbers are likely to change as we go through the next several days, but you get the idea that the heaviest precipitation will be in the southern part of the state. Let's take a closer look at southern Wisconsin this morning. Our current temperatures are in the 20s. 24 in Madison and Watertown, 27 Mineral Point. Platteville starts at 26 degrees this morning. Skies are clear, though. Winds are from the northwest, around 5 to 12 miles an hour, so there is just a little bit of a wind chill to factor in. Our weather track map showing you, though, that skies are mostly clear for southern Wisconsin. Here's a look at your future track forecast model through the day today. Temperatures will warm, but it'll be a slow warming trend, only into the mid-30s by lunchtime. And unfortunately, we're not likely to go much warmer than that. 38 the high here in Madison. May see a couple of 40s on the map to the south and west, but really most of us staying in the 30s today. Pretty quiet conditions overnight tonight, but get ready for those winds to ramp up on Wednesday. It'll be a south wind, though, so 48 for the high on Wednesday. We're back into the low 60s briefly on Thursday. It will still be quite breezy Thursday. Rain chances then late Friday into the weekend. We'll settle back into the 40s for next week.
Boy, all those rain chances seem to be falling on the weekends lately.
The last couple of weekends, yeah, have been pretty wet for us.
Oh, unfortunate. But we'll take that 61 on Thursday. We'll take it all in, Hats.
Yeah, there's still a lot of sun in this forecast.
All right, thank you. 6:07 right now. Wisconsin's gun deer hunting season opens this weekend. Hunting licenses up by more than 10% this year, so it's expected to be a busy one. Tom Muller at Deer Creek Processing says they're preparing for an increase in business, but are adding their own COVID precautions as well.
I don't know if I'm going to get sick or my partner's going to get sick, and then we've got all these deer, and what are you going to do?
Muller says his customers will have to stay in their cars this year when dropping off their deer carcasses. He's actually planning to limit business as well. Before you get to processing your hunt, the DNR wants you to change some of your traditions as cases surge. They suggest hunters drive separately, hunt closer to home, and do more to stay away from each other.
Playing video games might improve your mental health, maybe even make you happier. That's according to a new study out of Oxford University. Researchers there analyzed thousands of people who played 2 different video games and found the players said they felt happier afterward. A reminder, there were only 2 games studied here, and researchers aren't saying that video games lead to happiness, only that they're not necessarily bad for you. Santa Claus is getting some help online this year as the U.S. Postal Service prepares to kick off its Operation Santa this Monday. The 108-year-old program fulfills wish lists for needy families and children. For the first time, gift givers can adopt families online. The new system will allow more kids in need across the country to be reached. Children can address their letters and lists to Santa at 123 Elf Road, North Pole. You can find more information about the program up on the USPS website. Just search Operation Santa.
6:09 right now on this Tuesday morning. Let's take a look at the roads as you head out right now. Your morning commute looking pretty good across southern Wisconsin. Closer in on Madison, we're starting to see a little bit more traffic along East Washington Avenue, where we're seeing some yellow and reds on the map. The Beltline, so far so good this morning. We are moving at posted speeds, actually well above the speed limit this morning. You might want to Slow it down a couple of notches there, and we're moving around the speed limit on the interstate as well. Drive times as you head inbound on all the major highways looking good. We're all in the green. That's your first warn traffic. Coming up on 6:10 and still ahead for us, President-elect Biden continues preparations to assume office. Why he says the current administration needs to work with him.
And November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. We're answering your commonly asked questions about the disease. That's when we return.
Where's Daddy? Save on the 2020 Nissan Rogue with rear automatic braking. Get 0% financing for up to 84 months on 14 models.
Hey, Culligan. Got a water pitcher for the fam. Pretty safe, huh?
Well, basic water pitchers are passable, whereas a Culligan reverse osmosis system can reduce lead, arsenic, pesticide runoff.
Not going fast enough. Just done with that.
Millions of customers are leaving their providers and switching to Spectrum. And if you have satellite, it's not hard to see why. Because unlike satellite, Spectrum gives you all the services you need, like internet and TV from one provider.
They do?
Yeah, they do. And Spectrum has the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds at 200 megabits for $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. Spectrum wins on TV, too. Unlike satellite, Spectrum doesn't have an ugly dish to install. And you get exclusive premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
Wow, really?
Really? Plus, Spectrum has more free HD and free on demand. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. And unlike satellite providers, Spectrum doesn't have contracts or early termination fees. We'll even buy out your current contract up to $500. Switch to America's fastest growing internet, TV, and voice provider. Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each. Ask about our easy self-install options. Call 833-909-4499.
At Papa Murphy's, we knead seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
We drive everywhere to help our son reach his dream of becoming an elite swimmer. So we enrolled in the Know Your Drive program with American Family Insurance. It gives us discounts for safe driving and other benefits, like emergency roadside service, which comes in handy, no matter where his dreams take him. With Know Your Drive, save up to 20% and get closer to your dreams. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Ladies, check it out. So strong, so not ripped.
What are we talking about?
That's the Hefty Ultra Strong bag.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Give me the bag.
Get Hefty Ultra Strong at a low price. Do you have dry, cracked hands from constant washing, cold weather, and hard work? Try O'Keefe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keefe's Lip Repair. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked lips.
Where's Daddy? Save on the 2020 Nissan Rogue with rear automatic braking. Save up to $1,000 on select models.
Welcome back. The CEOs of Facebook and Twitter will testify before Congress today about how their websites handled the election and disinformation surrounding it. Both sites have put misinformation labels on posts from President Trump, claiming he won the election and that there was widespread voter fraud. Some other Republicans, including some on today's Senate committee, have also questioned President-elect Joe Biden's victory. So far, there has been no evidence of fraud when it comes to election results, and dozens of lawsuits filed by the Trump campaign have been thrown out due to lack of evidence.
70 of the 72 counties in Wisconsin have now finished canvassing their results from the election. Our news partners in Milwaukee reporting that Joe Biden has gained a total of 209 votes so far compared to President Trump's gain of 63 total votes. Changes in vote totals are normal as provisional ballots are approved or rejected, and these changes don't have much effect on Joe Biden's 20,000 vote lead in Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Elections Commission has continued to say this week that clerks reported no irregularities or fraud in Wisconsin.
New information this morning. The Secretary General of NATO is warning there could be a heavy price if the U.S. leaves Afghanistan too early. This as the military says it's anticipating President Trump will send more troops home from Afghanistan and Iraq before he leaves office. According to 2 U.S. officials, the Pentagon has issued a notice to commanders known as a warning order to begin planning for a drawdown. They say the formal order from the president could come as soon as this week. Currently, there are around 4,500 U.S. troops in Afghanistan, 3,000 in Iraq. This, as a new report from the New York Times says, President Trump asked aides about an offensive strike against Iran just last week. The Times reports the president is still considering an attack on that country or its allies. This comes after an intelligence report last week that said Iran's stockpiles reached 12 times the limit set by the nuclear deal the U.S. exited in 2018. Advisors and military leaders reportedly convinced the president against the move.
The president also reportedly planning to use his remaining time in office to hardline policies against China. An administration official says the actions can now be quickly implemented because the president is less worried about his trade deal falling apart. The official says the plan could make it politically impossible for the incoming Biden administration to change. However, China says it wants to cooperate and establish improved relations with the U.S., and that cooperation is the only correct choice for both sides.
President-elect Joe Biden is set to receive a national security briefing later today. A transition official says it will feature a team of diplomatic, intelligence, and defense experts. This is not an official security briefing, though. Biden has yet to receive those classified intelligence briefings since he won the presidency. That's because President Trump and his administration are still refusing to acknowledge the outcome of the election. President-elect Biden is urging the current administration to move on so the country can begin to move forward.
If we have to wait until January 20th to start that planning, it puts us behind.
Along with rapidly rising cases of coronavirus, the economy will be another challenge the president-elect and vice president-elect Kamala Harris will inherit in just 65 days. Yesterday, they held a briefing with the nation's top labor leaders and the CEOs of General Motors, Microsoft, and other companies.
Breaking overnight at 6:16, Hurricane Iota has made landfall in Nicaragua. The 30th named storm of the season hit shores as a Category 4 storm after it grew to a Cat 5 yesterday afternoon. The storm expected to bring catastrophic damage to an area that is still recovering from Hurricane Ada, which hit just last week. Leaders in the Central American countries are already reaching out, requesting international aid to help in their recovery efforts from a highly active hurricane season. Hattie's got the latest storm track this morning from the Hattie Patio. Hattie, I mean, this is still really close to a Cat 5 storm.
Yeah, it is weakening, though, quite a bit, Josh, rapidly as it moves over land. But this storm's setting records for rapidly intensifying in the Caribbean, and especially this late in the season. Here's where it sits right now. It is in central Nicaragua. It has weakened to a Category 1 storm, but still dropping quite a bit of rain, and those strong winds swirling around the center of that storm, causing quite a bit of damage as well. Now, the storm system is expected to continue its westward track as we go through the rest of the morning into the afternoon. It will weaken as it then heads back out into the water. So again, posing no threat to the U.S. right now, which is good news, but Nicaragua very hard hit in this month of November. A look at what's happening on the radar map around the lower 48. So there is some lake effect snow in the eastern Great Lakes and a little bit of precipitation in the Pacific Northwest, but overall the country looking pretty quiet as far as precipitation is concerned right now. You can see some of those lake effect snow showers in the UP and across parts of Michigan, but Wisconsin is dry. Now, looking at temperatures to the north where we are pulling from this morning, we have a northwesterly wind, so that colder air in the teens and northwoods, still in the 20s here across southern Wisconsin. But take a look at some of these wind chills. You're seeing some single-digit numbers on the map this morning. A wind chill of just 6 in Wausau. It feels like 3 degrees above zero in Rhinelander, as well as Superior this morning. There is a wind chill factor here in southern Wisconsin. It feels like it's in the teens. Our day planner temperatures show you that we'll only go to highs in the mid to upper 30s today. 38 here in Madison, despite lots of sunshine through the day. Now, coming up in the next half hour, we'll talk more about those strong winds that will return to southern Wisconsin.
All right, Hattie, thank you. 6:18 is your time. November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month.
It's the third deadliest form of cancer, and it's received more attention lately after the passing of Alex Trebek. Christina Laurie has more.
When Alex Alex Trebek was first diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, more people visited the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network's website than ever before, 8 times that of a typical day. Then last week, a year and a half later, when it was announced that the beloved Jeopardy host had ultimately passed away, that record was reached once again. Coincidentally, this Thursday is World Pancreatic Cancer Day. So ahead of that, we wanted to share some information that people have been searching for. Nikita Miller, Communications Director for PanCan's Madison chapter, says more people have been curious about what pancreatic cancer is, stage 4 specifically, how it's diagnosed, and how it can be treated. Stage 4, also known as metastatic pancreatic cancer, means the cancer has spread to other organs. The American Cancer Society says the cancer often spreads to the abdomen or liver first before reaching the lungs, bones, or brain. By the time pancreatic cancer becomes metastatic, doctors can no longer treat it through surgery, only chemotherapy. Chemo can help control and contain it, but usually isn't a cure, and that's what makes stage 4 pancreatic cancer so deadly.
She was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer on February 11th, 2009, and she passed away August 16th, 2009. So it wasn't as quick as some others, but it was pretty quick for us.
Trebek is the most recent celebrity to die of pancreatic cancer, but he's far from the only one. Patrick Swayze, Steve Jobs, Aretha Franklin, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and the late John Lewis all battled the disease. According to PanCan, every year 50,000 Americans are diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and oftentimes the symptoms are so vague, as simple as nausea, that they don't realize they have it until it's ultimately too late. But there are some things you can look for. We will talk about those tomorrow.
Christina Laurie for us this morning. Christina, thank you. Still ahead for us on a Tuesday morning. Bundle up and get outside. How you can celebrate the outdoors today.
And coming up in our next half hour, we'll tell you about a new online tool that helps you figure out how safe it is to travel and how likely you are to catch COVID right here in Dane County. Stay with us.
Right now at Hy-Vee, buy a ham, get a free turkey for your holiday gathering. That's right, buy a ham, get a free turkey. Buy a Hormelcure 81 boneless ham for just $3.99 a pound and get a honeysuckle white turkey for free. Only at Hy-Vee.
Still hard to find a spot, just easier to park. Still the big move, just more moving. Still singing, just more in tune. Still the gang's all here, just less are we there yet. The Chevy family of SUVs, making life's journey just better.
Now, during the Chevy Cyber Sales event, use $500 Cyber Cash on most SUVs when you unlock your code. That's around $179 a month on this 2020 Trax for qualified lessees.
Think you're managing your moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease?
Are you okay?
I did. But even when I was there, I never knew when my symptoms would keep us apart. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is for people who still have UC or Crohn's symptoms after trying other medications. And Humira helps people achieve remission that can last, so you can experience few or no symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, comfort can also mean efficiency. Because being more efficient with your home heating can mean spending less on it. And that's something everyone can get comfortable with. If you're ready for Carrier comfort, now you can get cool cash rebates of up to $1,650 on a new system. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Call your factory authorized dealer. General Heating and Air Conditioning, protecting your home and business since 1946.
protect what's important to you from COVID-19, you help protect everyone in Wisconsin. Learn how you can stop the spread at dhs.wisconsin.gov/COVID-19.
Right now at Hy-Vee, buy a ham, get a free turkey for your holiday gathering. That's right, buy a ham, get a free turkey. Buy a Hormel Cure 81 boneless ham for just $3.99 a pound and get a honeysuckle white turkey for free. Only at Hy-Vee.
Welcome back at 6:24 on a Tuesday morning. Tammy sharing this photo with us. I'm assuming of a sunrise, but we get a lot of sunset pictures, it seems like, too.
Wow, that's heavenly.
Pretty, though.
Either way, it is a beautiful shot and some much needed sunshine on this Tuesday morning. So Tammy, thank you very much. If you've got a My Morning picture you want to send, please send it to us. Now, this doesn't have to be a sunrise, sunset. If you spill your coffee, if you have a bad hair day, you can let us know all that, too.
Wear 2 different shoes.
We want to see it, and we want to make sure all our viewers see it,
because
too.
we have all been there.
Yeah, that's true.
Totally normal. All right, use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. Well, trending now might be getting a little cold, but if you're looking for something to celebrate today, bundle up and take a hike.
This is one of my favorites right here. Today is National Take a Hike Day. Hiking is great exercise. It can burn up to 550 calories an hour. It's a good activity to do during the pandemic, too. You can do it alone or socially distanced with a few friends.
Perfect time to take a hike.
It really is. Hattie has some good weather in store for a little hike this week, don't you, Hats?
I do, and I love that. You don't always have to go very far to even get into a wooded area, even within the city. So great day to spend some time outside today. Just bundle up a little bit this morning. Temperatures are in the mid-20s right now here in Madison. There's a wind chill that you should be aware of. It feels like it's in the teens early today. Here's a look at temperatures around the area. 20s for the most part, although Camp Douglas now has dropped into the teens. Heading out the door this morning, lots of sunshine is expected. That sun's going to stick around all day, but temperatures will only top in the upper 30s. Here's our pet walk forecast. Look at 0 in Mount Horeb. I don't know if 0's going to be outside today. A little chilly, but at least we got some sunshine.
Have we ever had a turtle for the pet walk?
No, I think this is a first.
Look at that. Breaking barriers here on News 3 Now this morning. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Shop Wild Easttown Honda for clearance deals on over 400 new Hondas. Lease a new Civic for just $199. That's $199 and absolutely zero due at signing at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison.
In 1930, we began helping people in Milwaukee who were hurt and killed by the carelessness of others. Over the past 89 years, the awards for our clients totals well into the billions of dollars, probably more than all the other personal injury firms in the state combined. When you do something for so long, you tend to get pretty good at it. And we will continue that fight for justice every day in towns throughout Wisconsin. Habish, Habish, and Rotier.
Getting your air ducts thoroughly cleaned takes the trained professionals at Stanley Steamer using the most powerful equipment to get the most powerful results. Our equipment goes deep inside your ducts, removing years of dirt, pet hair, allergens, even dust mites. Unlike other air duct cleaning companies, Stanley Steamer cleans your entire system. Just look at how much dirt can be removed. Call today for a free inspection and save $50 on a cleaning.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
In the Madison area, call Heating and Cooling Incorporated.
For your heating and air conditioning needs, call Tarkenton Brothers.
Culver's chicken sandwiches are proof that raised right tastes right.
I really care about the food we eat, and that all starts here.
The chicken that we serve to our kids is grown right here on our farm.
It takes growers like yourself to produce these great sandwiches at Culver's.
Every bite tastes like chicken is supposed to.
This is chicken raised right.
Our grilled chicken, our crispy chicken, and our spicy crispy chicken, they are amazing.
Welcome to delicious.
Shop Wild Easttown Honda for clearance deals on 400 new Hondas. Lease a new all-wheel drive CR-V for $269. That's $269 and absolutely zero do-it signing at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison.
Right now, local hospitals weighing in on who gets their COVID vaccines first as more companies get closer to seeking approval this morning.
And we have sunshine in the forecast today, but cooler conditions. All of the details coming up.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday, November 17th. I'm Josh Spreiter.
We hope you're having a great start to your Tuesday. I'm Leah Lynchide. Chris Stanford is off this morning. We are seeing some promising results in potential COVID vaccines, and now health officials in our area are trying to figure out how best to hand those out once they're available.
Since the supply will be limited when vaccines are first given the green light, hospitals like Unity Point Health Meriter are waiting for the state and CDC guidance on tier systems. They're planning to vaccinate healthcare and certain essential workers first as early as next month, before vulnerable populations like the elderly and then the general public, possibly by early spring. In the meantime, we're hearing this message reinforced.
Understand that we are in the middle of a surge right now. Whatever we can do until a vaccine comes and even after a vaccine comes to minimize that spread is vitally important right now.
Public Health Madison and Dane County is awaiting guidance on a tier system for vaccination distribution as well, saying in a statement they are working with partners to plan for equitable, ethical, and transparent distribution of COVID-19 vaccines. The guidance these hospitals need could come as soon as next week. An advisory committee to the CDC plans to meet next Wednesday. Like we've reported, the first to get the vaccine will be those most at risk, including healthcare and essential workers, the elderly community, and people with underlying conditions. The question the committee will answer is which order these groups will be able to get the vaccine. After that, the committee will have to decide what counts as an underlying condition and who is considered an essential worker.
More potential distribution problems. Pfizer's vaccine needs to be kept at -100 degrees to be effective. Hospitals would have to invest in freezers that could keep the vaccines at that temperature. But many hospitals, especially in rural areas, will struggle finding the money needed to make those accommodations. Reuters reports the company is currently testing its distribution program in Rhode Island, Texas, New Mexico, and Tennessee. New data from the CDC shows rural Americans are dying from the virus at nearly 3.5 times the rate of Americans in bigger cities. The rate of new cases outside cities is also nearly 2 times higher than that in urban areas. The virus is also sending Black, Hispanic, and Native American people to the hospital at disproportionate rates. They're 4 times more likely to be hospitalized than others. The findings are consistent with reports that non-white Americans are being hit hardest by the pandemic. This applies across all age groups. Public health experts say it won't change either unless compounding factors like access to health care are addressed.
Wisconsin is showing no signs of flattening the COVID curve anytime soon. The state's 7-day positivity rate is now at an all-time high with nearly 4 in 10 testing positive. This weekly average is now nearly 5 times higher than it was 2 months ago. More than 70,000 Wisconsinites have active cases. An interactive map is becoming a helpful tool for people weighing their options for Thanksgiving next week. Researchers at the Georgia Institute of Technology put the map together. It shows you what the risk level is of attending an event depending on where it is and how many people will be there. If you get together with 10 people in Dane or Rock County, there's a 1 in 3 chance you'll be exposed to someone with COVID. That risk goes up to a 50% chance for a group of 15 people in Rock County and a 45% risk in Dane County. Dr. Potoff with UW Health strongly recommends staying home for Thanksgiving and only celebrating with people in your immediate household.
Human visitors aren't allowed inside assisted living homes in Wisconsin because of COVID restrictions, but one local facility is letting a special visitor in to bring joy to its residents. Sadie is a 12-week-old yellow lab. She's visited the residents at SSM Health St. Clair and Baraboo every Monday for about 5 weeks now. A volunteer coordinator saw her and her owner outside one day and asked if she could bring Sadie inside to show the residents. It's become a weekly thing since then, and Sadie's owner says he's more than happy to share his puppy's love.
Being able to see a pet like this, maybe they're missing their pets at home, and it just feels good to know that this little girl can bring happiness to so many people.
Hope is to have Sadie visit every week for years to come. Josh, I just love this story because this gentleman was just walking outside the hospital and he happened to make a huge difference for all the residents. It's a little bit of inspiration for the rest of us, I think.
You never know what you're going to come across, and it's so awesome to see a lot of people trying to help out in this time, you know, doing whatever they can. And just a little puppy, so cute. Just the simple things, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's turn to the weather forecast with Hattie McLean on this Tuesday morning. A little cooler out there today.
Let's go back to the puppy video.
Yeah, seriously.
People probably want to see more of that than what I have to show them with the coming forecast. Take a look at high temperatures yesterday across the area. We topped in the 40s, but I show this map because temperatures were only in the 30s in the Northwoods. Now, part of that is there is some snow on the ground, but it is colder to the north, and today we have a northwesterly wind. So guess what? Those 30s are going to be here in southern Wisconsin later on today. Here's a look at weather track. At least we have clear skies, so lots of sunshine expected through the day today. Nothing really imminent out to the west, so our forecast stays dry. Our current conditions, we're at 24 here in Madison. Again, mostly clear skies. Winds from the northwest at 7 make it feel like 16 degrees outside, so you want to bundle up just a little bit this morning. Here's a look at temperatures across our viewing area. Coldest spot up to the north, Camp Douglas. You're checking in with 19 degrees right now, 21 in the Dells. A little closer to 30 as you head towards Mineral Point and Janesville this morning with 27 in both of those locations. Winds are from the northwest. As I mentioned, though, they're relatively light, around 5 to 10 miles an hour, but they are sending those wind chills into the teens in some spots. It feels like 13 in Juneau, 19 in Janesville, 19 as well in Lone Rock, and 15 this morning for that wind chill in Viroqua. Now, winds are going to stay around 10 miles an hour, so not terribly strong, but from the northwest, they'll keep a bit of a chill in the air today. Our future track forecast model shows you lots of sunshine at least. Skies will stay clear through the lunch hour. Temperatures back in the mid-30s. Unfortunately, we don't go much higher than that. Here's a look at the high temperatures for the day. 38 in Madison. May see some low 40s in southwestern Wisconsin and then right along the state line, but many spots not getting out of the 30s today. That extended forecast then brings stronger winds into the area tomorrow. Now, it is going to be a southerly wind, so we're talking warmer temperatures, 48 on Wednesday and even up to 61 on Thursday. Will that be the last 60-degree day in the forecast? Well, I don't know that, but I can tell you that we're back in the 40s as we head towards Thanksgiving.
You know, I've gotten so used to these just wicked winds lately. It's just unreal.
I know. Hang on. Tomorrow, especially tomorrow, we're talking gusts late in the day, again, around 40, 45 miles an hour.
There ain't no hairspray that can help you out in that kind of wind.
Josh always worried about that.
So worried. You guys know me so well. All right, Addie, thank you. 6:37 is your time now. Time running out for the Trump campaign to request a recount in Wisconsin. His campaign has until tomorrow, and if they follow through, they'll have to pay nearly $8 million up front. The head of the Elections Commission says these estimates are significantly higher than the 2016 recount cost. It's because they have to consider factors that weren't there 4 years ago, like the need for larger spaces because of the pandemic, security, and the increased number of absentee ballots. The numbers on your screen show specific estimates by county. In Dane, it's around $740,000. In Rock, $220,000. Milwaukee County is the state's most populous and most expensive at an estimated $2 million.
Election officials in Georgia say they found more than 2,500 uncounted votes in a single county. The ballots hadn't previously been counted, but election officials say they won't change the overall outcome of the race in that state. About 1,600 of those votes are for President Trump. The president is losing the state right now by around 14,000 votes. Officials say the issue seems to be an isolated incident and that they haven't found any other fundamental changes in other counties. Georgia's Secretary of State, meanwhile, says U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham asked him whether he had the power to reject certain absentee ballots. Brad Raffensperger says he interpreted that as a suggestion to toss out legally cast votes. In an interview with the Washington Post, he says he's faced rising pressure from fellow Republicans who want to see Biden's narrow lead in Georgia reversed. Graham says he asked the question because he wanted to figure out how ballot signatures work in the state, and that Raffensperger's interpretation is, quote, ridiculous.
Happening today, President-elect Joe Biden will get a national security briefing. A transition official says it will feature a team of diplomatic intelligence and defense experts. Now, this is not an official security briefing. Biden hasn't gotten classified briefings since he won the election. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris is still receiving intelligence briefings, though, as part of her role on the Senate Intelligence Committee. Back in Wisconsin, Governor Evers and Lieutenant Governor Barnes want to get your input on how to shape the state's budget. It'll be the first of 4 virtual listening sessions. Tonight's session will focus on healthcare and public health in Wisconsin. If you want to speak, you do have to register on the governor's website. That's tonight at 6.
Getting taxed for working from home. That's what some experts at Deutsche Bank say could help rebuild the economy after the pandemic. In a new report, the bank says a 5% daily tax on employees who work from home after the pandemic would raise tens of billions of dollars for governments. The money could help lower income workers who've taken on greater risk because their jobs can't be done virtually. The tax would look something like around $10 a day, assuming the average salary of someone working from home is around $55,000 annually.
6:40 on the nose. Let's take a look at your first warn traffic as you head out right now on this Tuesday morning. We are tracking a crash way over on the east side, east of Johnson Creek. This is in the eastbound lanes right before County Road B. Now, we're told this is on the shoulder, so it shouldn't impact traffic too much. But if you're heading towards the Milwaukee area, keep that in mind. Looks like we do have a new stalled vehicle right now on the Beltline near John Nolan Drive right now. Not seeing any delays from that. We do see some delays near the downtown area along East Washington Avenue. Some yellows and reds showing up on the map there. Drive times as you head into Madison and Dane County, though, looking good on a Tuesday morning. Let's take a live look outside. Cold start out there, but beautiful shot from the Edgewater Skycam at downtown Madison. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. We'll have your forecast coming up.
And what if 2020 had a smell? What would it be? One company picked 4 distinctive things to include in a novelty candle. We'll tell you what those are after the break.
Keep your home and family warm and cozy this winter with a new degree of comfort from your local Rheem contractor.
Feel the Wohlers difference. Call Wohlers Heating and Air Conditioning today. Serving Dane County for over 45 years.
Work smarter. Use the cloud to securely print, scan, and collaborate. GI Office Technologies, helping businesses like yours.
I love to equal the playing field. I love to help people and allow them to feel like they are powerful instead of powerless. We're with our clients every step of the way.
Gingras, Thompson, and Walks.
Looks like they finally got rid of that trip hazard. They pump it full of mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Where are the patched holes? Where's the splashed mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Concrete lifting technologies can quickly raise and level any concrete surface using cutting-edge foam technology made in Wisconsin. Fast and accurate and eco-friendly.
How did those guys do it? Where are the holes? Where's the mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
.com.
You've heard the saying, if it looks like bacon and it tastes like sausage, it's probably Johnsonville sausage strips. Oh, you never heard that? Well, sausage strips are pretty new. They're strips of sausage in amazing flavors like maple and chorizo. You can find this meaty miracle by the bacon, even though it's sausage.
Whoa.
It's Chevy Truck Month. It's Deck Building Month. It's Toy Hauling Month. It's Explore New Ground Month. It's the month to get things done. Make it your own and make every month Chevy Truck Month.
Get $4,500 cash allowance on all 2020 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance towards the purchase of eligible accessories. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Is your home giving you the cold shoulder? Fight back with a new energy-saving furnace from your local Rheem contractor.
Feel the Wohlers difference. Call Wohlers Heating and Air Conditioning today. Serving Dane County for over 45 years.
Download the Channel 3000 app today.
On the next Live at 4, we'll talk with UW coronavirus expert Dr. Jeff Pothoff.
And Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council has a steak and acorn squash recipe. You're going to want to try at home.
You make plans, what to wear, where to go, when to go, what to bring. And then the weather changes everything. Let News 3 Now First Warn Weather prepare you for what's coming. First, fast, and accurately, so you can plan your life.
Welcome back. We'll all remember 2020 for a lot of things, but not necessarily for its smells.
Well, one company looking to change that, the group is making a candle that captures what they think the scent of 2020 is. So it has 4 layers: hand sanitizer, banana bread, woody musk, which is a reference to how a lot of people picked up DIY projects this year, and then finally the smell of cheap aftershave dedicated to Tiger King. The company says they know the smells clearly don't complement each other, but the year has been pretty out of kilter, so they say it's fitting. Each candle, if you're interested, costs about $20.
I love that Tiger King is now baked into, literally baked into a memento of 2020.
Do you remember when the Tiger King was like a big deal? Like that's how the year started off?
No,
and
then, so long ago.
I know.
Did you ever watch it? Did either of you ever watch it?
I never got into it.
Oh, you guys saved so much time.
You know, I did watch Carol Baskin on Dancing with the Stars, though, which was quite entertaining when she dressed up as a cat and all that stuff.
That was probably enough. You got the general.
You should YouTube it if you haven't already. It might give you a good smile on this Tuesday.
Oh, boy.
Right. I'm just thinking about banana bread.
Oh, that sounds good,
too. Much preferred.
Yes, let's hope that candle is heavy on the banana bread. Well, our forecast today shows the skies are clear behind me. Here's the look from the Queen Bee Radio sky camera. Clear skies, nice sunrise underway there. It is a little chilly, though. Lots of birds flying around in Platteville this morning. I've been watching those on the sky camera shot. 25 in Platteville right now, 24 here in Madison, down to 21 in the Dells. Here's a look at our temperature trend over the next 12 hours. We're going to keep the sunshine all day today, but northwesterly winds will hold high temperatures to the upper 30s this afternoon. So a little chillier than it was yesterday. You want the layers, but with that sun, not a bad day to get outside.
All right, Hattie, thank you. 6:45 now on a Tuesday. Stick around. The morning sprint is coming up next.
But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can share their picture on TV. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning. We'll be right back.
News 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
I suffered with knee pain for almost 4 to 5 years. I wanted to have the conformist after looking at all the different options. I think having the surgery with the ortho team is the only way to go. They all look out for you as a patient.
Going Cars is having a huge winter sale. Don't miss out on 2018 Chevy Cruzes starting at $11,995 or $185 per month.
That's right. You can buy a 2018 Chevy Cruze starting at $11,995 or $185 per month.
Going Cars is family owned and operated for over 50 years.
So just hurry in today and ask for my sister, Crystal the Pistol Gobin.
Or my brother, Donovan Gobin.
You gotta go to Gobin, GobinCars.com.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. And if you haven't tried Plexiderm, we've created the best offer yet with our Thanksgiving Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. Even the 11 lines between your eyes are visibly gone in minutes. Plexiderm works so well that celebrities in Hollywood and people just like you feel years younger in minutes. This is why I'm letting people try it for only $14.95 at plexidermtrial.com to celebrate this Thanksgiving.
So I've had under eye bags for a very long time and it sucks. I've spent so so much money on tons of eye creams, eye gels. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm, and I'm not joking. It works. When I do a collage and everything is done, it looks amazing. That is exactly how Plexiderm makes me feel. I put it on my face, and somehow, some way, I look together, which is amazing. I'm Jackie, and I took the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge, and so should you.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there, like the bags are gone.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale rock. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under eye bags and wrinkles in minutes. This Thanksgiving is the best time to try Plexiderm at our starter price of only $14.95. So if under eye bags make you look tired or feel older, take action this Thanksgiving and see that younger looking you. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
I suffered with knee pain for almost 4 to 5 years. I wanted to have the conformis after looking at all the different options. I think having the surgery with the ortho team is the only way to go. They all look out for you as a patient.
The Portage Furniture Store with free delivery on brands you know and trust.
Welcome back. 6:49, time for the morning sprint.
We're seeing promising results in potential COVID vaccines this morning, and now health officials in our area are trying to figure out how to best give those out once they're available. They plan to vaccinate healthcare and other essential workers first as soon as next month. Then they'll vaccinate the elderly and everyone else after that, but vaccine supplies will be limited, so they'll look to the state and CDC for more guidance on how these tier systems will work. CDC plans to meet next week to come up with a model.
Wisconsin is showing no signs of flattening the COVID curve anytime soon. The state's 7-day positivity rate is now at an all-time high, with nearly 4 in 10 testing positive. The weekly average is now nearly 5 times higher than what it was 2 months ago. More than 70,000 Wisconsinites have active cases.
The FDA is warning people not to take plasma from folks who have been tested by one of the experimental COVID vaccines. The group says there's still a lot of unknowns about the plasma since the vaccine still in the trial phase. The agency issued an emergency use authorization to use plasma as a COVID treatment in August. The antibodies in the plasma have been found to be a kickstart to a patient's immune system, or response rather. The FDA's warning will last through the end of February.
The State Department of Corrections is seeing its highest single-day spike in COVID cases since the start of the pandemic. The DOC reported more than 800 new cases among inmates yesterday. This brings the lifetime total up to nearly 7,000. More than 2,000 of those are still active. The State Journal reports 6 prisons have more than 100 active outbreaks among prisoners.
An update to a News 3 investigation this morning. Another resident at the King Veteran Home in Wapaka County has died from COVID. 35 residents have now died there. It's the largest COVID outbreak out of Wisconsin's 3 veterans nursing homes. Many of those deaths have come just this month. Officials say there have been more recoveries. There are 38 active cases among staff and residents.
Community spread is getting worse in Rock County. That's why that county is back in phase 1 of its reopening plan. This means offices, restaurants, and stores will have their capacity limits cut in half, down to 25%. 30% of the county's lifetime cases have been reported in just the past 16 days.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court isn't expected to make a decision on whether to rescind the statewide mask mandate for a few weeks, even though the order expires this Saturday. A resident had sued, saying the governor exceeded his authority by issuing several emergency orders at the same time. Evers argues he can issue multiple health emergencies because of the changing threat caused by the pandemic. Just into the newsroom within the last hour, you can now buy prescriptions on Amazon. That company launching Amazon Pharmacy, a new shop offered through your Amazon account. Customers can add insurance information, manage prescriptions, and choose how to pay. Prime members will get unlimited free 2-day delivery on prescriptions. Amazon says Prime members without insurance can save up to 80% with a prescription savings benefit.
Zoom is removing time limits on video calls to help you stay connected while staying safe this Thanksgiving. Health experts are asking for you to stay home this Thanksgiving, which means not seeing extended friends or family. That can be hard on the holidays, which is why Zoom made that decision.
Some major overnight shakeups for the Bucks. ESPN reporting this morning the team is trading for Drew Holiday from the New Orleans Pelicans and Bogdan Bogdanović from the Sacramento Kings. The moves come after the Bucks promised Giannis more help after falling short in the playoffs this year. The Bucks sent Eric Bledsoe and George Hill, along with 3 first-round picks to New Orleans and 3 other players to Sacramento in the separate deals.
The NCAA still plans to have March Madness, but there will be some changes. The organization is talking with officials in Indianapolis to host the entire tournament there. The NCAA usually plays at 13 separate sites to hold the 68 teams. Indianapolis already planned to host the Final Four in April.
It's beginning to look a lot like winter at Lambeau this week. The Titletown ice rink outside the field set to open tomorrow. All visitors over the age of 2 will have to wear a face mask unless they're eating or drinking. There will also be fewer people allowed on the ice at one time.
Time is running out for the Trump campaign to request a recount in Wisconsin. His campaign has until tomorrow, and if they follow through, they'll have to pay nearly $8 million up front. The head of the Elections Commission says these estimates are significantly higher than the 2016 recount cost. It's because they have to consider factors that weren't there 4 years ago, like the need for larger spaces because of the pandemic, security, and the increased number of absentee ballots.
President-elect Joe Biden will get a national security briefing today. A transition official says it will feature a team of diplomatic, intelligence, and defense experts. Now, this is not an official security briefing. Biden hasn't gotten classified briefings since he won the election. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris is still receiving intelligence briefings as part of her role on the Senate Intelligence Committee.
It turns out women have more sleepless nights than men. A new study published in the journal Human Nature finds women experience more insomnia problems than their male counterparts. The trend starts during puberty, which suggests hormones or other social factors could play a role. Researchers also found that women use more sleep medication than men.
Officials at the DNR want to remind hunters to follow COVID safety measures during deer hunting season. State health officials are discouraging social gatherings of any size, including going to camp or gathering at hunting check stations. The DHS is asking hunters to reduce their travel and only hunt with people they live with.
We're learning more about Madison's proposed bus rapid transit system. The city's transportation department says it's considering creating bus-only lanes in the center of roads instead of on the curbside of the street. They say it would preserve parking and bike lanes for a portion of the day. The first phase would run from Westtown to Easttown Mall through downtown.
6:55. Let's take a look at First Warn traffic as you head out the door on this Tuesday morning. Things looking pretty good. No crashes out there. Just a couple of delays in and around the downtown area. Drive times as you move inbound, looking at around 64 miles an hour on the Beltline. Take you 4 minutes from the interstate to John Nolan Drive. The Beltline looking good. Just a couple of delays near Stoughton Road this morning, but you should be moving at posted speeds other than that. That's your First Warn traffic.
And your First Warn weather forecast showing you weather track this morning. Skies are mostly clear across southern Wisconsin. That little batch of cloud cover that we had has already fallen apart. Temperatures are still dropping, though. We're down to 23 here in Madison, 20 in the Dells. Janesville has fallen a few degrees as well, now to 25. Here's a look at our temperatures over the next 12 hours. We're looking at highs only in the upper 30s today, with that northwesterly wind keeping a chill in the air. Rain chances ramp up as we head towards the upcoming weekend. Rain is likely both Saturday and Sunday across southern Wisconsin. Here's a look at temperatures. Before we get to the weekend, it is going to warm up a little bit. Highs in the upper 40s on Wednesday, low 60s on Thursday. We will cool down through the weekend, and looking ahead to next week, the weather looks relatively quiet, but pretty cool as well, with highs in the 40s.
Thanks, Hattie, and thanks for joining us this morning, folks. Have a great Tuesday. Take in that sunshine. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.